and for this video, it is the review of Glide Roktavor Speedstorm. Make sure to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe to the channel if you are new here. This was provided by Hasbro. So if you're wondering at any point during this video, how did we get it? It was provided by Hasbro. I am very excited to take a look at this because of the fact that it is very, very interesting. It has a smaller version of wheel. Now let's hope that it's actually at least pretty close to TT, or at least decent, above zero. But yeah, let's get started. So this is a stamina type base. So Speedstorm's gimmick, as I always explain, is basically this. Just to go over, just to zoom in. Speedstorm's gimmick is basically where all the tips get taller, and that's it. There is SP and SPM. So SP is Speedstorm and SPM is Speedstorm Metal, where they have a little bit of metal weighting on it. Just to show, by the way, the box art looks sick. I think I actually like it a little bit more than Hypersphere's graffiti sort of theme. We've got our Storm Chip Roktavor, Glide, Wheel, and we've got Revolver, which is basically the same as Revolve, but taller with metal. Then after, it does keep the same gimmick. It does have the wings that pop out. Its stamina is 12, which is insane. I think that would make a lot of sense since it is wheel. But yeah, let's take a look. But before we do that, the Beyblade Burst app, you gotta download it, okay? Anyways, yeah, let's go by the part by part. So going over, we have got our chip, which is Roktavor. This is our Storm chip. In comparison to the original Ragnarok chip, side by side, it is just missing the detail on the side. It has some silver, missing the centerpiece right here where it should be, and a side-by-side shot just to show. You can just see, again, really could have used that detail, but it is what it is. Now I have to see which side it is, so it's going to stall right here. It is this side. Slopes actually don't seem that bad at all. It's very hard because it is a clear chip. Slopes seem okay. QR code is at the end of the video, once we do all the battles, by the way. Slopes seem good. That is very nice considering all things. Now we're going to go back to the top camera and we're going to go over to Glide. So they did actually paint the part where the chassis should have been. There's no chassis system, which is the only disappointment so far for this system. But really, the real complaint is just going to be on detail. They did put the detail on the wings. Let's give credit where credit's due. It is missing here, here, and there, which is unfortunate, but it does keep the gimmick of the wings coming out, so that is good. The gimmick was just supposed to be, I guess the wings are supposed to spread out. It's supposed to get like ultra stamina or whatever. I don't really know. Yeah, perfect. So side by side to TT. We're just gonna zoom out. Yeah, looks cool. Flipping it over, going back to the top camera just so we can get an idea. So that is the differences between the two. Yeah, nothing really else to say. Let us just move on to the next part, which is Wheel Hasbro. So this is very wacky. They basically did wheel, but a little bit smaller and a teensy bit hollowed out. Now, there is a surprise for this, which is the weight of it, which I'm going to show after we get to the scale. But you can just see, let's actually double check, Hasbro TT. The shape of it is a little bit thinner. It is a small wheel, teensy bit hollowed out, and I know it looks bad, but once we get to that weight, trust me, you're going to be in for a surprise. Moving on, this is really impressive, which is Revolver. We're going to go to the top angle just to show. It does have metal. This is the TT Revolve. It has the same color and everything, which I love it. I was really sick and tired of some tips just being such a plain, basic color. It's very good to see that we get like this flow of detail. And very impressed by Hasbro. So this is Speedstorm Metal. So it is taller and it has metal weighting on the side. And it seems not to be in balance, which I thought maybe because of how it's placed, it might have too much balance. Only really at the end, but just because it's tall, but it does do good at the start. Just to show the top part. Symbol is a little bit, is the symbol a little bit modified? The symbol looks a little bit modified. They always modify it, yeah, they're a little bit modified. Moving on, we've got our scale right here. Roktavor chip is 2.78. 3 grams on the dot. We have Glide TT. 8.77 Glide Hasbro. 10 grams, geez. This is 1S from TT. 16.69, nice. Now, moment of truth. TT wheel. Oh, by the way, I forgot to say this before we even continue. The tabs on the disc are different because TT's wheel has a thin tab. Hasbro has a normal tab on the disc. But yeah, sorry, to go over that again. TT's wheel, 30 grams right there. Hasbro is 25 grams. Well, not really shaved, it's just got the prongs normal. So this is very good. I thought they might botch it and they might make it super light, like 19 or a measly 20. Happy to report that it is 25 grams. So this disc does have some use. Probably not as much if you have the actual wheel, but at least Hasbro fans can know that they're not getting the short end of the stick. Revolve is 5.77 for TT. For Hasbro, it is 10 grams. 10 grams. So let us see altogether now the weight and everything. So far, Hasbro is really knocking it out of the park right now. So TT Glide, isn't it like at 60 or something? It should be 64 grams. Hasbro, 49 grams. Again, a lot of weight went in this 1S chassis, but let's see how Roktavor, how heavy it would be if it had actually the wheel from TT. If you give it the wheel from TT, it has 54 grams. So at least we're pretty close now. If you give it at least the TT disc, we're getting close. Without it, it's unfortunate, but we have to deal with it. I think overall, it is pretty impressive for how tight this is. Like I said, it is decent. Pretty good, considering it's Roktavor as well. But now, we're gonna go by side before I get to the other evolutions. So holding this up, other than the detail, because the detail's obvious, right? We have to, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, it does need it. But it looks good overall, like ignoring the detail, I think really just the idea that they pretty much nailed it for gimmicks and whatnot. In comparison now to the other Roktavors, I think Roktavor is gonna finally be pretty useful after all this time. Well, not to say that it wasn't useful before in the previous layer sections, but I don't know, just like compared to like Crash or something, or like the Switch Strike one. It is nice, it is nice. For Roktavor fans, you can be happy. I'm a little bit worried for only one aspect. I don't know if it's gonna burst as much as TT does. I probably assume it should be something similar. But yeah, let's move on. We're going to do our test launch, so 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Again, Roktavor, like for Hasbro, isn't it surprising like how much they nailed it? Yeah. Like obviously, should have had the chassis system, but with what we have, it's honestly a step up from Hypersphere. Like really a step up. Because I thought the wheel for Hasbro was going to be super light, and it wasn't. So that's awesome, man. That's awesome. So we're going to launch it with a TT sparking launcher. So 3, 2, 1, let rip. So again, Roktavor seems really good. It seems really, really good. For how good the slopes are, just let me feel it. Honestly, the slopes are actually pretty good for Roktavor, I would say. Not incredibly tight, but better than average. So let's do it against the previous Evos. So Roktavor against Roktavor. Oh-ho! Glide Tornado! You know how great it is to have a Hasbro evolution where it doesn't lose to like the original Evo? All right, next up, it is Rising Ragnarok, or excuse, Raging Roktavor. Come on, let's get it, let's get it. Because keep in mind too, the impact that's on it is also with the metal tip because of the height. Well, at least for these shorter days, at least for the shorter ones. And it's pretty balanced, I would say, too. Because I thought it'd be imbalanced, but it's not. All right, let's go with... Now, Switch Strike, I'm a little bit... Never mind, never mind. All right. It's crushing it right now. All right, now next up is gonna be a difficult one. Crash Roktavor. Now Roktavor for Hasbro, for Turbo, was a little surprising. Like, even though lack of metal, which sucked, it still kind of pulled it off, so we're gonna see. This is by the way a Slingshot Bay and a Speedstorm Stadium, so it'll be wacky to see. All right, let's see what's gonna happen. Oh, burst finish. So Glide seems to be the best Roktavor. We just crushed all of them. Now we go on to the real test. Now to really see if it's worth it against TT. Now first, let's do a launch of TT in the Speedstorm Stadium for comparison. You ready? So keep in mind that Glide's wheel is a lot bigger than the actual Hasbro's wheel. So should just be staying to the center. But you can see it still has that movement. So let's see. Big hits from TT. I suspect TT might win with a burst. Like I'm a good predictor. All right, first round goes to TT with a burst finish. No clicks. Oh, I thought Hasbro burst. I was like, oh, okay. This wasn't that good. And then I feel like, oh wait, no, that's Hasbro one, so we're tied. So crazy, the stadium. Who won? Hasbro. All right, now Hasbro's in the lead. So now we're gonna change the launch order. All right, let's see. Oh, it's building up speed. Here we go. Glide TT. So Glide Hasbro seems to be pretty good. I think what really helps these Speedstorm bays is the metal tips. Yeah. The metal tips definitely help a lot, because I was just thinking of the heights and everything, and if you think about it, considering that it's a teensy bit taller, and especially if it tilts, you're basically going to get impact from the driver's metal and the wheel disc. So I think we're going to give our, QR, I almost forgot the QR code. Like I said, always there at the end of the video. Pause the video right here so you can get the amazing Glide Rock. I'm going to zoom in, zooming out, zoom in. Wait till it focuses on it. It's not even on purpose. The camera just decided it's not the start of the show. Yeah. Scan the QR. So Roktavor, final thoughts. Very impressive. Very impressive. Again, obviously sucks the chassis system and everything, but overall, I gotta say, Speedstorm, step up above. Yeah, well, I mean, you can kind of tell. TT Hasbro. Only thing that kind of sucks, I guess, missing lack of detail, obviously, on the paints, which does suck. But performance-wise, best Roktavor to date? I would say so. Definitely would recommend it. Doesn't seem too weak, and it seems decent. At the very least, you do get a very cool version of wheel that is limited through the fact, like, that can be used maybe in some sort of limited, I don't know where I was going with that. It's just a cool version of wheel. The Revolver, or basically just Revolve for Hasbro, very nice. And I'm so happy to this. I'm gonna keep on mentioning this, but look, same color as TT and everything. Like, Hasbro finally said, hey, we gotta start making the bays good, or they're gonna leave us. But that'll be it for now. Thank you all for watching. Have an awesome and amazing day.